So, a fun little story for you all folks, real quick. Uh, the next Smash kit I'm working on, episode 32, has given me some struggles. A little bit of my mind's all over the place. A little bit of potential burnout, which we'll talk about later. Don't worry about that right now. And just really just blah 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 blah. Okay, so I got to the point where I'm like, all right, video's recorded. I just need to edit it and get it out. Okay, I go to record, and the audio sounded awful. I'm saying irredeemable. Sometimes I get bad audio and it's like, okay, let me work with this real quick. And bada bing, bada boom. This was not that. This was irresaveable. And that was the breaking point. I'm like, nope, can't do this. All right, I need to take a break. And what kind of break should I do? What's so stupid that I can make it in such a timely manner that I can have a fun video out here real quick and also manage to make beautiful artwork? Well, let me tell you, folks. We're going back to the grave for this one. It has been 2.5 years since I've said this. But hello, my name is the Ace Sorcerer, and welcome back to Randomized Ship Art.
I could finally leave! Martha, I'm coming home, sweetie! I'm back in the fucking building again! Oh my god!
So for those who are here on the channel for the Smash Bros. Kits, hi, I'm so sorry for what you're about to witness if you're even watching this. This is a series I started back in the pandemic for funsies after seeing a TikTok, and it's chaos. This has a reputation for being just absolute insanity, and every single time I bring it up as I'm gonna bring it back, all my friend group goes, ah! So when I talked about, I posted something to my private Instagram story, and I said, I'm kind of feeling like doing it again. And everyone went, oh! Oh! So, here we are. Randomized Ship Art. What is this series? Well, if you can't tell, it is completely randomized ship art. Or, for those who are not hip and cool with the slang on the internet, you know, all this skibbity toilet. I don't know. How many viewers did I lose from that? I don't understand it. No. Randomized ship art is basically completely randomized relationship art. You know, when you see, like, ships like, oh, what's a good controversial ship off the top of my head? I can't think of any off the top of my head. I thought of, One Cest first, if that tells you anything about what I know. Clance from Voltron. There we go. That's a ship. Or Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth. That's a ship. So this is basically a series where that concept is completely randomized by the divine beings of the cup. So what do we do in this series? Well, I take a bunch of fictional characters that I like or know at least a moderate enough amount to draw them relatively alright, throw them into something, usually a cup for me, but you can throw them into like a bowl, a hat, a spinning wheel, whatever you want to do. And then I pull two out, I look at them and go, well, crap, I gotta draw these as a couple now, and then proceed to draw them as a couple. The series is nuts. The last time I did this, we got Mario and Sephiroth, which is crazy, but a little bit more tame compared to the one I got before that, which is Kronk and Mettaton. And you can just see the progression of the art right now. This is this. Hi. So it's been 2.5 years since I did this. I was about to graduate high school when I did this series last. And now, I have an associate's degree in the arts. I'm not saying that that's like a, oh my god, he's got an associate's degree. It's like, I graduated college with an arts degree, and this is what I'm doing with it. So, if by chance any of my professors see this, I'm sorry. So, let's go into the rules, because there are 2 rules to randomized ship art for it to properly work. Rule number 1, and the most, well, they're both pretty important rules, but for various different reasons. Rule number 1 is no 2 characters from the same franchise. I don't know why I messed that up. So, what does that mean? Characters from the same franchise cannot be a couple. So, like, let's do one. If I pulled, let's say Link and Zelda. There you go. That can't work. That's not randomized. That's just a real thing. You know? Even if it's like characters who have never, ever possibly met. Like, oh, what's the first thing I think of? Volo from Pokemon and Leon from Pokemon. They've never met. Same franchise, can't draw it. So, completely randomized. That's how we get something like Kronk and Mettaton EX, okay? Yeah. And rule number 2, please don't do anything illegal. And by what do I mean illegal? Is it gonna get you on the watch list by Chris Hansen? Don't do that. So, those are the only 2 rules for randomized ship art. With that said, let me present to you the Cup of Chaos. Now, in the past, I've used a red Solo cup. Yeah, seriously, that's what I did back in the beginning of the series. Last time I did this, I was using a Wendy's cup that I had washed out. That Wendy's cup is no longer with us, and it is probably rotting away slowly and slowly because pollution. But we have something a lot more reusable and a lot cooler, because instead of a Wendy's cup or a red Solo cup, we got a Whataburger cup. Yeah, no, I got this for free, and I was looking at it, I'm like, yeah, no, that's perfect for randomized ship art. So, that said, let's... Someone's racing outside. We'll begin after I clean up this mess real quick. Hold up. Okay, I'll try that again. Because the video just stopped. Cool. Alright. Alright, names have been secured, put back in the cup. I put the lid back on because shuffling this is going to be way easier with this on. Trust me, I can do like the, so let's begin to start shuffling. Just do some mild shuffling. I forgot what order. I don't even know half the people in here. All I know, we got Love and Deep Space in here. I know that much. Ace Attorney's in here, which is a wild card. I wonder why that one's in here. We'll find out eventually. Also some standard stuff, some Undertale, some Legend of Zelda, some stuff like that. Pokemon, because Pokemon's been part of the reason why I have not been doing this. I have a card collection now. Here's the binder. Okay. Anyways, let's begin. Lid is off. Not an epic fan. Okay. Let's just choose one. Okay, this one, that one revealed itself to me, so I'm not gonna do that one. That one, the tabs are a little bit too big. I should have folded them down a lot more. So, we'll save that for next time. Alright, here's our actual pick. Oh, God. Oh, no. No, this is one of the last ones I added on a whim. No. Old Hank Hill here going to be drawing randomized ship art. Whoa. It's Hank Hill. It's Hank Hill. It's Hank Hill. Yeah. Okay, who was this one? Was it? Oh, okay. Yeah. That one revealed itself to me. That one was a son from the devil himself. We don't want the devil in our randomized ship art. We got Hank Hill. It was Luke Skywalker, which would have been infinitely funny, too. Do we want to reshuffle? We can do some mild reshuffle. Alright, so Hank Hill. Hank Hill. First series back, Hank Hill. Okay, cool. Give me Silas. Give me Silas. Give me Silas. I want to draw Hank Hill and Silas as a couple. Let me make them kiss. Let me make them kiss. This one I can feel is blessed by Leonardo da Vinci himself. Da Vinci has blessed this. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Alright, so this is the best series ever made. I'm so glad I decided to do this. Oh, yeah, let me just say. Yeah, that's Roy Mustang from Full On Alchemist. Okay. Not nearly as much laughing. I used to, like, crack up when I got some of these. Like, dude, I know I lost it when I pulled Saffron, but, like, I was just like... There you go. Hank Hill and Roy Mustang, the first couple. Oh boy. I think this is it's not nearly as shocking because, like, I guess that's the most sane couple I've come up with. I mean, it's just a war criminal, a guy who likes propane. Wait, that might work. Alright, all I know is I was gonna do something really cute on this. The problem is, the back of my head, I've been kind of planning on the style I want to do. And I wanted to do a piece inspired by Hosier, basically. So, I basically moved my, alright, which Hosier song do I want to be my reference point? Here's Hank Hill and Mustang. Draw them as, oh, we'll kiss him. not Silas. It's not Love in Deep Space. It's just as funny, and I say that because I know Roy Mustang's the sixth love interest confirmed. I guess Hank Hill might be too. One of the two is. Oh god. Alright, cool. I get to draw these two as a couple now. Maybe I should have just carried on with
Yeah.
set. Oh, I'm gonna have to blooper that one out. Alright, well. Time to go to the drawing board, I guess. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Alright, before we get into the meat and the juice of the video, if you know what I'm saying, let's talk about art. So it's totally not been a couple of days, totally because I totally just didn't forget to record yesterday, but I've been sketching, I've been posing, because in the older videos, not in the last one, but the older videos, I would do the drawing of the characters, which I did. Here they are. Reminder, Hank Hill and Roy Mustang, if you somehow forgot. And then I would do a kind of like, here's my thought on the pose, and then here's me actually drawing the characters. Thankfully, for once, I've actually drawn both Roy Mustang and Hank Hill. Hank Hill not nearly as much as Mustang. Mustang I did a lot earlier this year when I made his moveset. But Hank Hill is, I'm not saying a simple design, but comparatively a lot easier. You can kind of draw him and then draw him, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. At least for me. I'm definitely going to do a little bit of warm-up, but anyways. So we're doing some posing. I'm going to make this real brief. I'm just going to show you. Initially I came up with them like falling. Yes, that does read Doomed Yowie. Then we got a little bit of a cuter pose. And was this kind of just an excuse to fill up my sketchbook a little bit more since I've been using this since June? Yeah, kind of. Here's the pose that I initially was like guaranteed going to do. Once again, Doomed Yowie. And then there's notes on it if you want to like pause the video and just read it all. Like, yeah. And then I did some like thumbnail sketches of working on that. And then I drew my Pokemon OC because Pokemon's been the brain rot. It's not good, you can't really tell. Pokemon has been the brain rot. Again, I have a whole binder of Pokemon cards here now. That will be a video one day. Anyways. And then this morning I did more poses. I wanted to do like one I had already done, a little bit more of a romantic, but also being a lot different, because a lot of the previous ones, they're a lot flatter, if you've noticed. Like it's all like on the same like horizon level. So instead of doing that, let's do it with a pen. Instead of doing like that, I thought doing something like angled like that would look a little bit more interesting. So that one will probably end up being what I go with. The other option I really had was this one, which it does say Hosier Core if you're curious. This one I was inspired off of the song In a Week by Hosier, one of my personal favorites by him. By the way, you can just shamelessly go listen to his music if you haven't. It's peak. It is absolute peak music. Anyways, I'll link the song in the description if I remember. I want to do this for something eventually because I really like this pose. I don't think it's going to be for this project because I really like to go ahead and get started before I go to work today. And I don't think I have enough time to figure out this arm situation. I think that's going to cause me to actually like pose in real life. And I don't really want to explain to my neighbors why I'm laying in the grass field like acting like I'm holding hands with someone when I'm not. That's... So yeah. So I think this will probably be the pose we go with. Alright, cool. At this point in the video, oh, I just shook my camera. Hi, hello. You're probably like, dude, get on with it already. Dude, get on with the show. So at this point, let's transition to the speed draw. And go. Wow. Hey everybody. So it's very late at night, so I gotta be very quiet. I didn't end up drawing before going to work. Whoopsies. But I started like actually trying to draw one of the poses I had done. And I just didn't like any of them. Like I liked them, but I didn't want to do them for at least Mustang and Hank Hill. And it's kind of like just whatever. And I'm just like mid-watching a video where it's the Pokemon cards in my head. And I'm just like, what if I went back to the original idea? So instead of doing like this like doomed romance, full Renaissance painting. I don't know. It's rough. It's very rough. I'm gonna try and translate it over to here before going to bed. But yeah, this is insane. I'm so glad I did this. Like, this has been such a worthwhile project. All right. Well, it's time for me to cut to the time lapse. At least you are gonna cut to the time lapse now. Hold on. Oh, this is so stupid. So I forgot to record the first part, so you get this. Yeah, so this is a really expensive Link action figure, and I really didn't feel like actually drawing the pose, so I just used that and started drawing with over top of it. Sometimes you just gotta be a little lazy and you make do. Of course, we're gonna make this proportionally accurate, but to get the rough sketch in, and here we go. There is my boy Hank Hill. We're drawing over him in blue right now to, get the proportions right. We're going to fiddle around a little bit. It's been a hot minute. To clarify, last time I drew Hank Hill was, I think, back when Unis Honest got deleted. So 2020, actually, yeah. Where I drew anime Hank Hill. I'll put it on the side of the screen if I remember to, which I probably won't. So we're just drawing in here, trying to get the rough sketch. Now you're going to see an ad show up real quick, but we're fiddling around and I'm still figuring it out. We're still roughing it out. Hands. I'm trying to figure out a color scheme idea right now. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do it, but rough it out. Very crappy looking face. Don't worry about it too much. And again, we're just, going through the motions, trying to draw him, learn, and figure him out in this beautiful, elegant pose. And the hand is giving me a hard time. Hands are difficult, okay? Like, they're fairly easy when you have a reference image, but actually, drawing them freehanding them, which is basically what I'm doing right now, it kind of a pain in the ass. But anyways, we're making it through. We're making it along. It's starting to look a little bit more like Hank Hill. We're trying to figure out the face shape here. But yeah, this was a fun little thing to do. I really do enjoy making this, and it also gets me out from drawing just a stagnant pose to showcase a character's outfit and then recolor them a bunch of times, and that's a very nice needed break. Peep Sans Undertale, don't mind him. We're going back to drawing his hand. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna be real with you. This was late at night. I was just kind of fiddling around with his hair. It's a little too spiky. Looks almost like Bart Simpson. So we just redraw it. Yeah. Drawing his shoes. I really like Hank Hill's design, especially in the original cartoon. You noticed I went with the original iteration and not the new updated version, which I have nothing against, by the way. I think it looks great, but I just wanted to stick with the classic design for this specific drawing, although I could very easily come back and do an updated version. So we're just filling in the details, trying to make it look a little bit more natural for, a cartoon character. Now, at this point, the speed draw is going great, but it didn't work entirely right.
Dang, we have a bit of a problem. And not the fact that I spent $88 worth on Pokemon cards earlier today. No, we are not going to be talking about that, not in this video at the very least. We got a problem with the speed paint. See, in the past, for those who have not seen the series up to this point, what I would do is I would record my screen in progress. I would hit, screen record, do my little doodling, and so you can see everything I'm doing. Literally everything. You're in the nooks and crannies with me as I'm making my little pencil marks on these fictional, usually men, fictional men, making them gay for each other. The problem is, this time, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's my iPad is just not working. I don't know if the actual hot dateable men that are on my iPad through Love and Deep Space are making a myth, because that might be it, honestly. I don't know what's happening, but the videos aren't videoing right. For lack of a better explanation, half the videos are not playing. Not on the photos, not in the editing app. I don't know what's going on there. And then, like, I tried, like, shoring them all down, and then I managed to get all my progress to, like, a 15-minute long speed paint. And then it's not even done yet, by the way. The piece is nowhere near. Like, I still got, like, maybe an hour's worth of work to do, which I might end up doing tonight. I don't know, I got work at 8 in the morning, so we'll see. But, like all that, and it's, like, not saving properly. So, like, I'm kind of sitting here, like, well, crap. What do I do? I think the only thing I can really do is use the speed paint feature, a little playback feature on my drawing app. I use IBIS Paint X because, I mean, I could use something better, but, I mean, I've been using it for years now, so I might as well. At least for this video, I'm not going to try and learn a new art program while I'm still, like, in the thrux of learning digital art. I'm like, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to use, and I don't like that necessarily. I like y'all being able to see everything I do, but it's like, I mean, if the videos aren't working, then we don't have a video. We need a video. So, very inconvenient timing that the minute I try and do something more creatively fun is when things stop working. I'm really hoping this doesn't, like, affect future Smash Kits. I don't think it will. I wasn't having this problem when I was recording the last one, so I think this is just a this video problem, and hopefully it doesn't affect future ones. But I think that's what we're gonna have to do. This video's already turned out to be a lot longer than pretty much the entire series up to this point, so that's pretty cool. We'll see what I do in post, I guess. Yeah. Also, we will get back to the $88 worth of Pokemon cards. That's just for another day. Alright, let's get back to this game, man. I'm 21 years old and have an associate's degree in the art, and this is what I'm doing with my time. I guess it could be worse, technically speaking.
So yeah, this was my solution, was to just use the regular version. So unfortunately, you're not going to see me get into the nooks and crannies. And it might be a little bit faster. I'm not entirely sure. I've never had to do this before. So, yes, I just used my hand. It's talking a little bit more. It's going to go by a lot quicker than it was going to initially, which honestly, for the sake of the timing in this video, is probably for the best. Alright, now we're getting into the weaves of drawing Roy Mustang. And the problem with Mustang is his pose is a little bit more scrunchy. For lack of better terms. It's not that that's a problem per se, because it's not. It looks fine, but like with Hank Hill, you can kind of get all his details off pretty quickly. Whereas with Mustang, you got to fiddle around with the posing to get all the details in right. And I'm not entirely sure how successful I was in that, but you know, we live and learn. You know, we're figuring it out as we go. Yeah, no, I got very quickly reminded and humbled on how hard it was to draw Roy Mustang. I had very, very difficult time drawing him earlier this year. My friend can attest to this. I was spending all my good time trying to figure out how to draw his face, because, yeah, it was a pain. But now we're adding in some colors to get the rough colors in. I do forget his hair. Don't worry, we're about to come back to it, like, right now. I did actually end up pulling up my drawing of Mustang from the Smash Kit I did for him as a reference point, which helped out a whole ton. It might be a little bit longer than his actual haircut, but you know, that's fine. Anyways, we got this nice, beautiful sunsetty colors in the background, and we're going to fiddle around with this for a while. I'm debating if I want to do actual line art, if I want to do, I'm going to see if it's already passed or not. I think, no. So I tried doing line art that's based on the original color, which doesn't look horrible, but I don't think it worked well for this drawing, especially what happens towards the end with it. I don't know what I'm doing here, okay? Yeah, just kind of, okay, there we go. And, nope, yeah. You know, sometimes you just fiddle around trying to make this cool little whirly pattern for it, because I need something more in the background, which is what this is. I start fiddling around with this little, like, flame spark. And honestly, if I had planned out this background an inch more, which is like actually trying it out, I think this could have worked. it's not horrible in hindsight. But this whole background's gonna get scrapped. A little bit of a spoiler alert. Now we're just fiddling in more colors, and this does look good. I'm very proud of how the background looks. It's nothing crazy, but it does look fairly nice. And now we're drawing in the faces, which Hank Hill's, this is where his face does become a problem, and I don't think I nailed it around properly, but like, you know, their faces are weird. Not in a bad way, it's just like drawing them in this angle. You got Hank Hill with a much more cartoonish face, which I've never seen at a maybe 3/4 angle. I'm not entirely sure. And then Mustang trying to remember how to draw his eyes, because that was the big stickler last time. And unfortunately, you can't really see my struggles. But now we are getting into shading, which I basically did what I was doing before, but a lot nicer and a lot more smoothed out. And it looks really good, actually. I'm very proud of that. It looks better on Mustang than it does Hank Hill. And even then, Hank's looks amazing. We just haven't gotten to it yet. We're still in the interweaves of Mustang. At this point, I actually figured out I had some layering issues with his hair color, which is what this rapid movement is, and me trying to figure out which freaking layer it was on. And then I just gave up. I remembered I forgot his cheekbones on Hank Hill, which made him look a whole lot better. And now we're getting into his shading and the highlights. I should say that. It's looking very nice. I did get his hair color wrong too, which is kind of nuts. Obligatory, that's nuts joke here. And now we're adding in the sun, which I thought it was gonna be nice to look and get that nice highlights on, and and get that nice vibrant, bright vibe and everything. It's looking like pretty good right now, but it doesn't look well with the background, And that's when I decided to change it. Okay, it hasn't actually changed yet. We're about to see it now-ish. Yep, there we go. So we get the lights in the background, but we get it's basically sunlight. We get this unintentional hill background, and I signed it, and that's the finished artwork.
And that does it for the grand return of Randomized Ship Art with episode 7. Wow! This is the second time I've done a grand return and then never made something from it again, so, well, we might make something from time for the lab, but listen, everyone, to the final result, the final artwork. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Wow! Wow! I had a delay reaction there. There he is. There it is. It's not the best. No, not really. It's not the best, but you know what? I like it. Very, very, very pleased with how it turned out. Lots of intricate details. Work. Nope. That's nope. There we go. There he is. There's the boy, Roy Mustang, with his betrothed. Thank you. This is someone's OTP. I can tell you that much. That's kind of it at this point. You've seen everything up to this point. Nice, fun time doing my hand. It was very fun doing this again. It's been a while, clearly, a good 2.5 years. But it was very fun to do it because, well, A, it helps me take a break from the Theory Kid series because it was starting to get a little bit much, and that's why this video really existed. It also helps me evolve digital art skills, not just in the way of, drawing the artwork for the moveset, so I can do something more serious. I put serious in quotation marks because it's Randomized Ship Art. It's never serious. But with that all out of the way, I do want to actually go ahead and start working on the next, or what was meant to already come out, the next Smash Kit, which I'm very, very excited about. I think you all will have a great time enjoying it too. But with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great time. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you ended up actually watching this video, I'm so sorry. If you came here for the Smash Kits and got this instead, it just be like that sometimes. But with that out of the way, thank you all so much for watching, and until hopefully sooner than what I initially thought, it's been a month since the last new set, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye! That's the fastest outro I've had in a hot minute. Holy crap.